believe you were in the casino, essentially. You had
We
been speaking.
we left
Go
the
ahead.
casino.
Right. And where did you end up at the end of that, like having had gone to the casino? I don't remember. I
Um,
don't remember what happened after that. If you jog my memory, we'll fall back into place.
I think we. Well, it was pretty technically late for us, like close to morning, so we called it a
Oh, okay. No,
night
that's great.
towards the
So
end.
essentially, okay. So essentially, you're on your way back for the casino, and you were in the car, or you were in the car on the way back.
Yeah,
Cool.
basically.
Awesome. Okay, sounds good. Does everybody need a refresher as to what you learned, or I don't think so. The person that you were speaking to, I don't quite remember the character's name. I think it was Harold. Um, the person you were speaking to that was the head of security. He was essentially working on tapes, and as I remember, he gave you tapes of the hallway. He did not give you tapes of the main casino floor because there's just so fucking many of them.
Hmm.
There are cameras all over the casino. But in the hotel room area, that's not necessarily the case, and that was a lot easier to get a hold of. So you have those tapes in hand. You haven't looked at them yet because you're in a car, and I'm assuming there isn't a VCR in a 1972 Chevy Nova. But
It's a
that's where you find
74,
yourself.
actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just saying.
So you are on your way back. If there's anything more that I need to fill in, please let me know before we get kicked off. But
The only other thing that I think we were gonna do was Nate actually split off at the end of the night, and Nate went and looked at the meeting spot that we were gonna meet with Hargrave the next night.
oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So it was in an intersection of a very heavily trafficked road. It was basically like a 4-lane highway by a 2-lane highway. Um, there was not much as far as occupied commercial property. And Nate, being a person who is very familiar with a stakeout and being able to essentially judge danger and ambushes, he's looking at this place and he's like, oh shit, well, if I were to set up an ambush, this would be the spot. Like, it's not a meeting place. It's not a meeting place that has any obvious, like, not witnesses, but it's not a heavily trafficked area, foot traffic wise. It's heavily trafficked as far as the car traffic. That's what Nate took away from that, as I remember.
He did? I don't remember any of that.
Oh, well, and that's what I remember.
I don't think you told me that bit of information. You would have thought about it, but now I know.
Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Gee, I fucking know. No, so so essentially, I think you had just gotten there, and I'm not entirely sure if I made you roll or not, but let's assume you did well on the roll, and that's what you would have gotten. Because, like, if it were Alan showing up there, well, fucking Alan's not gonna come up with that shit. Let's be honest with ourselves. But considering what you do as a job and what you had as experiences, yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility. That's your ballpark.
Right.
So yeah, you are essentially you drove your squad car. I remember.
Yeah.
And you're basically just sitting there like, oh, hey, this is an interesting spot.
Wondering if he's like, is there any good places to put cameras, like his own, like, surveillance equipment around?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You got multiple vantage points. You could certainly go into the building itself. You were told the corner. You weren't told what building you was going to be in. But you can probably surmise. Like you can surmise. There's a derelict, what must have been a pizza shop at some point. Windows are shuttered. There's a commercial sign on the door. Like there's a commercial realtor's sign on the door that looks like it's pretty faded by the El Paso sun, and you can deduce from that it's been there for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look as though there's much traffic in and out, but it's there. So you could get multiple vantage points as far as a camera is concerned if you wanted to place it in facing that spot. And if you want to ask a little bit more about the area around it, I can go on, but if you roll essentially a security and intelligence or a security and wits check, you would essentially be able to figure out a good spot, depending on your roll.
And I was gonna put a dot in fucking security because, like, he's a police officer, he should know this. But I said, no, let's do that next time. Well, fuck, because I didn't think that would happen.
Okay, well, pitch me on something that you think would be a good replacement. What else would make you feel as though you would be able to have a good vantage point to be able to set up a security camera?
Okay.
Streetwise.
Oh, he's a dot in Streetwise at least, so yes.
Well, I would imagine that you were... What kind of cop were you? You were a homicide detective, or you were a vice cop?
I was just a patrol cop. Like, I never was in... A detective is a completely different type of... I never was a detective. Colton became a detective, but Nate never went that route.
Gotcha, so you're a beat cop. Okay. So, no, I'm not going to say that you would be able to really intuit a good spot for being able to set up a camera. You would definitely be able to, like I said, intuit what a good place for an ambush would be.
Right.
It's like, that's your bread and butter. You get the willies whenever you get into a situation that you think is dangerous. And of course, your barometer for danger at this point, now that you're fucking undead, is a little bit different than it was when you're flesh and blood. But you haven't been on a sting operation before. You haven't had to worry about wiretaps. Like, this is kind of new territory. You can kind of assume, but you don't really know if you're right or not.
Yeah, basically. I mean, he's heard, like, this is what you should probably do, but never actually done it. But he would put up a camera somewhere, just as a precaution.
Awesome. Yeah, so roll me a wits or intelligence. Dealer's choice. Or
It
dealer's
is
choice.
same amount, so it's 2 dice. The difficulty...
We'll set it at 6. I
Okay.
think 2 die is enough of a penalty.
Yeah. No! He doesn't know. Nope.
Well, hey, you've got a perfect spot. So you set it. It's not that bad. So,
Basically.
it's not that bad. So what you do is you set it up on a little traffic pole. Where the basically it's where a stoplight would overhang.
Right.
So you set it on the pylon for a stoplight, and you do your best to be stealthy in doing it. You kind of like look around a little bit, and you have a little bit of a jump, and you suction cup the thing on the side of the side of the pole, and you're like, yeah, this is it.
No. This is why he never became a detective. That, and he loves paperwork.
Oh god.
No, that's false. That's really bullshit. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. He'll text, Oh god, names escape me. It's been a while. Fuck. Juan, there we go. He texts Juan about the location, that he scoped it out, that he put a camera, and that it is what, like, his hunch is about the ambush. A perfect place about being a possible ambush scenario.
Okay.
Well, that's about it.
So Juan texts Nate back, and he says, "I'll see if I can get some extra muscle, and there should probably only be one of us that goes out to actually meet Hargrave."
Agreed. He sends back.
So Juan's gonna text Hank.
Hank Marston?
Yup.
Alright.
And so, if you recall, after Bruno died, mysteriously, or took vacation, sorry. After Bruno took a very long vacation, Juan used Bruno's phone to text Hank and say that Juan would be taking care of his needs now. And so Juan texts Hank, probably been, like a couple of days, I think?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, need a fix? Question mark. I got a job. I might need some extra muscle."
So, what time in the morning is it? It's probably about late. It's about 4 in the morning. And
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
expect a reply until I wake up.
okay, and you don't get one for some time. You don't get one tonight, essentially.
Yep.
All right. So it is at this point 4:30 in the morning. Anything you guys are doing before it's bedtime?
I think Juan's gonna go back to his haven and disassemble and then clean his 45.
Gotcha.
I've been ripping the top of my car off with the
What?
goal of turning it into a convertible.
Hell yeah. How loaded are you?
Nate would probably have. He got the picture, like, his son sent him a picture of his lacrosse game,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
He'd
you
print out that picture and frame it.
Oh.
I guess I'm just watching Yosef rip the top of his arm.
I'm probably like struggling with the corners, so maybe the corners are still there, but the rest of the top was
I just imagine Yosef with like a grinder on the car, and he's just like cutting through the top, and Colton's like sitting off to the side, like, "What in the hell are you doing?"
I see Yosef actually prying that bitch open
Yeah,
like a can. Like,
I'm just-
he's
Yeah,
got-
it's like as not clean as possible.
This is how they do it in Russia.
Some
And
bits
I
are like
see-
taller than other bits.
I see like the little stubby parts, like where they go down, like where it goes in the windshield, and then the rear view, like the rear windshield. I see that, like you bend them back and forth, like you would on a tab of a soda. You're just like you couldn't pull it off directly, so you're working the metal back and forth, and you just snap it off eventually. Ding.
There's definitely some pieces on there, and I'm just kind of like, it didn't come out like I planned.
Oh, for sure. Like people, like at the most cursory glance, it looks like the metal was bent over. Like there's no grinder that was involved. Like you know what I'm saying? Like there's no. If somebody looked at it, it'd be like, they didn't cut this. Like this was rent open. It would have looked like you drove and you hit something that sheared the top of your roof off. Is basically what it looks like.
We're gonna be driving in style now, Colton.
I just shake my head and sigh.
Now, does he also do this when he's high, or is he like of his own faculties when he's doing this? Because that sounds like something you do on meth. I'm just gonna tell you. Okay. Oh yeah, you're loaded. Awesome. So, I'm assuming after that you settle down when you get that instinctual sense that the sun is going to be peaking up in a small amount of time, and you guys go to sleep, I assume. And night comes, day passes, and you wake up. Spend a blood point.
Yep.
Awesome. So, one, you get that response back. It's hard to intuit things from text messages, and oftentimes there's, miscommunications, but you get the distinct sense that Hank is a little bit indignant at the thought that you have something he needs, but you get a response back like, what are we talking?
So Juan texts him back, and he just says, protection detail. You don't actually have to do anything other than look menacing.
You see, what would be the equivalent of like the three little ellipses popping up as he's like trying to figure out how to respond to this, and he goes, "Look, my bags are packed. Look, my bags are packed. I'm gonna go back to. I was thinking about going back to Boston. ...
Juan texts him back and says, "That's too bad. The future's looking pretty bright for some of us." And then he sends him another text right after that, and he's like, "I'm not sure a return to Boston would be a good thing for you."
Yeah, well, breaking my arm wasn't a good thing either, asshole. Is what he writes back.
Juan just sends him like the emoji smile.
Oh my god.
It's like in the 90s, right? So he doesn't actually have the emoji, he just actually types it out. And he's like, Juan texts him back and says, "There's a price to pay for everything." Go ahead.
You get a response back. I would I had a supply. Bruno gave me a supply once a week, and $10,000 every month.
So Juan texts him and says, "I can do the supply. We might have to earn $10,000. I got a couple of ideas though." And then, knowing that this guy used to work in the mob, he says, "How do you feel about Russian mobsters?"
And he goes, "Those fuckers? I was about to ask who I was mean mugging. Send me the location."
So Juan sends him the location of Hargrave, and he says, "This isn't the Russians. This is a precursor." And he just gives him the information on when to show up and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. And you get back, got it. With a period. That punctuation makes all the goddamn difference. Awesome. So the rest of you wake up, and as you check your phones, there doesn't seem to be anything on there. It's about 8 o'clock in the evening. The sun's gone down. You're all pretty early risers. Not all that old. Still got some humanity left. What are you up to?
Well, Colton, you wanna go meet with the others?
Yeah, let me just get dressed.
Yeah, no problem. I'll sit in the car and wait for you.
Quick question. Who is in possession of the videos? You have VHS tapes, essentially, that you got from the security guard.
I think it was Nate, because Nate was in uniform.
Yeah.
Juan definitely did not.
Well, Juan was the person who it was given to, because as I remember, I think Nate was hanging back and
Yeah,
essentially...
because it was more like a lawyer matter than a police matter. So the lawyer did most of the talking.
And the lawyer is the slick Latin American gentleman.
Yeah.
Okay. So Juan will have those.
I mean, it's totally up to you whether you want to have handed them over to Nate or not. I asked the question, and as I was talking it through, I was remembering more, so...
Given the choice, Juan would probably hand them to Colton rather than Nate. But,
Yeah.
you know.
So then I guess I have the tapes?
Yeah.
Alright.
Do we even have a VHS player?
Yeah. It's the 90s, bro. You got a Blockbuster down the street. Don't have a quarter.
Oh my.
I have to review, like, a decent amount of tapes, don't I?
Yeah, it's hours of footage.
Well, I guess, I'm going to be reviewing tapes for a few hours.
What are you gonna do with Eternity? Come on, man. You're mortal.
What did you say?
I said, what are you gonna do with Eternity, man? You're mortal.
True. I guess I peek out the door and I say to Yosef, who's in the car, I actually have to review these tapes. I guess go on without me. I'll meet you somewhere else.
Oh wow. Okay then. I put my arms up defensively. Such a bitch.
What?
I'll be back.
Okay. I just close the door and then I go inside, pop in a tape.
Nate would probably be going to work. He'd grab a coffee that he wouldn't drink and head off to work.
You are a monster. So awesome. Yeah, you head off to work. Just another old day for you. You head off. There's nothing of much there's nothing out of the ordinary. You check in, you go, you say hi to the secretary, you find your desk. And since you're a beat cop, you have the morning or the shift briefing.
Yep. He
Regular
has
old run-of-the-mill bullshit.
he has
And
to
then
give
you-
that, yeah.
Yeah. So keep going. I'm sorry.
No, I just interrupted you, sorry.
No. I mean, feel free to take narrative control at any time, but I just see it. You deliver the shift speech, and then you guys are off. You're off on the beat.
I mean, given how many days has passed, he'd probably either like supervise one of the newer cops on that night shift for a bit. So like act as their partner for a bit for part of the night.
Okay. Awesome. Sounds good. So, let's see. You decide. Have you worked with this person before?
I would not think there would be a lot of new cops at the night shift, but
Oh man, no. Rookies get the fucking night shift.
Oh,
No
never
one
mind.
wants to work the night
I
shift.
think I actually have a
If
name
you're-
for him.
If there are any new cops, they're definitely on the night shift.
Alright. Yep, I did list a new cop. Officer David Ortiz. A new officer under training current ride-along partner, a new officer that recently graduated from the academy the past few months.
Okay. Well, not to reveal too much of the sausage making, but let me ask you the question. If you had to describe David in a word, what would it be?
Green.
Okay. How does he... He's on a force, right? He's very new.
He's very new, yeah.
He's very new. And the world of darkness is obviously a fair few shades darker than the world we live in.
Right.
Now, does David know that the force is as dirty as it is? Or is he a noble kid that wanted to get into the job to help people? It's your choice. Totally up to you.
I'm thinking maybe a bit of both. Like, it's like obvious intentions of being a cop, doing good, and then slowly realizing this isn't as nice and shiny as it's supposed to be, or
Okay.
he thinks it's be.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, you've been mentoring this guy for probably about not gonna say 2 weeks because that's a too small amount of time. Well, actually, let's go the opposite way. You only met this guy 1 or 2 times before. You read over his sheet. You were instrumental in his hiring because he did sound like he really genuinely wanted to do good, but he didn't seem so naive that he was going to be ineffectual.
Right.
So, yeah, you guys are taking that shift. He says, "Hey, officer." Oh, hey, officer. Right. How are you? Sleep well?
As well as I can be. How about you, Officer Ortiz? How are you doing, kid?
God damn, these third shifts are fucking me up, I'll tell you. But I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here.
And, it's Sergeant, kid.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You just have to remember these titles. If you spoke out of line to someone else, they'd rip you a new one. Just giving you a heads up now.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, oh man. Thanks. So, am I driving today?
Yeah, you are. Why not?
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
But before you do, you have to go through the checklist. You have to remember that. Make sure the car is all working order before you turn it on. Check the lights if they're working, the engine.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir.
The whole 9 yards.
Yes, sir. You got it. And he goes and he's very eager. And he goes through this whole thing and he misses a few things. How do you correct him if you do?
He'd stop him and say, I think you need to recheck that.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, I didn't check the radio, did I? Okay, hey, dispatch 21, this is car 34. Check. And he looks over at you expectantly, like, hey, did I go do a good job?
He nods.
And with enthusiasm, he, throws the car in gear, grabs the steering column, and off you guys go. So, Yusuf, what are you up to?
Well, I'm gonna scout out some farms.
Cool, okay. So, there aren't farms as such in El Paso. There are ranches, I imagine, that are...
Look at some ranches.
Okay, awesome. So, do you have any specific ones in mind, or are you basically just trying to go and find any which ranch that you might happen upon?
I'm just kind of trying to find any which ranch. I am gonna try and see, are there I know it's dry. Do you think that it's something like an orchard would be sustainable?
No.
Yeah,
definitely
then
not.
ranches it is. I'll tell you, taking a look see.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to tell ranches by anything else. That you can see ranches when you're not looking at a building that's, a barn for the livestock when they're coming in from herd. There's like shrubs around. There's enough vegetation to support undulates, but there isn't enough. Like the land isn't fertile to grow anything too much down in El Paso. So there's enough for grazing, but there's not enough for anything that grows out of the ground. And you can tell when you've happened upon a ranch by a fence, like a high fence that's really unmistakable. I don't know if Yosef has a background in ranching. As to whether he does or doesn't fucking matter, because you've been in the area long enough that you recognize these fences, and it's almost implicit that it's like, oh, this is a ranch fence. Okay, now I'm at a ranch area. But the building that is like the central area for that ranch isn't really in sight. You're on a back road in kind of like the upper, like the northeastern part of outskirts of El Paso. Just driving around.
So this fence, how tall is this fence?
I'd say it's about 5 feet tall. Maybe a
it's
little bit higher.
A wire fence?
Yeah.
Is it electrified?
No.
All right. I'm gonna start hacking away at this fence.
Okay. What are you trying to accomplish?
I am going to take a cow.
Oh my god.
Okay. Roll me a survival check. A survival on whatever attribute you want to pitch me on.
1 sec. I'm trying to get roll 20 to not stroke. All right. So the check is to take apart the fence.
No, the check is to basically figure out where the hell a cow would be. Because
Oh,
you're just basically looking at desert right now.
Just a second. My character sheet's not.
Take it down.
Let me refresh.
What the hell is this?
Yeah. So what I want to really, slowly but surely do is, over time, I'm gonna start collecting these cows, right? And Yosef's childhood dream, it was always very important to him. He wanted to be a farmer. Now, obviously, this is really shit soil, but being a rancher is the next best thing. And I think right now Yosef is having a bit of what would the term be? He's I don't know what the term would be, but he's got no sort of drive currently.
He's got no drive, is what you said?
Yeah, he just kind of does things like right now, just like, oh, get some drugs, continue living. But I don't think he's got any real goals, and I think he is somewhat struggling with that. And I think what he's looking to do is get back to his roots.
Gotcha. I see.
think
You're
it would be-
adrift.
I think it would be a wits, because it's like a sort of. Where are cows? What do you think?
Are you asking me the storyteller?
Would you say that it's a wits?
Yeah, I'd say wits is perfectly acceptable. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I thought you were waxing philosophical, like, where are cows?
That is a question. What are cows?
Yeah, you got it. Fantastic. So you go and you peer off, and if this were, you have enhanced senses at night. This is essentially during the day for you, so your vision isn't impaired as much as it could be. And you realize that the amount of area that this fence encapsulates or encloses far outstrips, like the cows are not going to be like within eye shot of the entire fence area. So you intuit it's like, well, shit. I mean, what am I going to do? Walk around here at night and try to find a cow? That seems like a terrible idea. So what you do is you go and you walk back to your car. You get back into your car and turn the ignition and start driving, and you get the distinct impression that you should start driving around the perimeter of this fence, and it's convenient because it's right adjacent to a highway. It seems to run parallel to a highway. So you just kind of get on there, and stop me if you don't, but you start driving along this highway, and eventually there you go. Your hunch you're vindicated. You see a herd of cows out in the distance.
All right, perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. I just kind of chuckled to myself. And how strong are the bars that are holding this fence?
Oh, geez, you don't even have to roll. You can do whatever you want with these bars.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a really big, clear path in the bars. Like I'm just gonna start pulling them out.
Oh, easily.
And I'm gonna drive through.
There you go.
I'm gonna rear my car up to one of these cows.
The cow looks startled. Like, the cow's like, they don't run away. It's not like a stampede, but the cows are like equally interested and fearful.
Yeah, I just kind of like slowly walk up to it like, oh, hello, cow.
Okay.
No need to be scared of Yosef.
Alright.
And I'm gonna put out my hand. You know, how I seen on those Western movies.
Oh my god.
With like horses and shit. But I'm gonna try and do that with the cow, because that's all I know, really.
That sounds good. Roll me.
I don't think there's many cows in Siberia.
Nope. So, roll me something. Pitch me on how you would empathize with a cow, like how you would try to essentially present yourself as someone that the cow shouldn't run from.
I would say this could be. You think it could be an appearance?
Oh, sure. Yeah, tell me how.
Because like, the more shit your appearance is, right, the more you're looking like a depraved monster.
Okay, yeah, no, I could see that for sure.
And then the actual ability itself, I guess, would be. I mean, I don't have
Technically, animal Ken, yes. I don't know of anybody besides a gangrel that would generally take animal Ken. So roll it. Don't roll a minus. Feel free to roll appearance and roll it at just a straight 6. I won't give you a penalty to I won't give you a penalty to roll.
Okay.
Because technically with skills, I think you have to take like a -1 roll. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. But
Oh.
nice, awesome.
All right.
So you take control narratively of this. The cow is willing. The cow is fascinated. It's almost. The cow is definitely fascinated, and it doesn't perceive you as a threat. And so, with those things in mind, you tell me what you want the scene to look like.
So I put my hand out, right, and the cow walks forward, and he like playfully licks my hand. I'm like, oh, and I'm gonna start walking him back over to my car. And what I'm gonna do is, right, I'm gonna just kind of push the seat back. Like I'm just gonna snap it back so it's just a horizontal sort of thing. It's just like flat.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try and help carry him onto the car.
Okay. Awesome. So you are an incredibly strong thing. You are an incredibly strong creature. Honestly, I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. However, you know what's not so super strong? The bungee cords. But moreover, your suspension is not designed for a 2,000-pound animal getting into the back. So you're bottoming out in the car.
Holy shit, a cow's 2,000 pounds?
Oh, they're very... I don't know if all of 2,000 pounds, but they're at least like 800. They're really fucking big animals.
I mean, it goes without saying that, you know, I
don't know, I
Oh,
seen very many
shit.
cows.
Absolutely wrong. Hold
They're
on.
like 2,400 pounds for a male cow and 1,600 pounds for a female cow.
I thought so. I thought they were fucking like gigantic.
Yeah, they're fucking. Oh, jeez.
There's not many cows in Jersey.
They're really heavy, but you know what? Like, I love it. You're gonna fuck your car up doing this. Well, you got it. Like, you got a little
start
thing.
driving. I'm gonna try and see if I can like finesse it so that I can get the seatbelt just kind of around him.
Oh my
No,
god.
there's no fucking way.
No.
Oh, shit, then I'm gonna have to drive really slowly, like dragging the bottom of my car.
Oh yeah, for sure. This doesn't seem like a great idea to you now.
It doesn't seem like a great idea to me now either, but I mean, I'm already invested.
Awesome. All right,
All right, I'm taking it back to Colton.
With the car, with the cow in the trunk, I'm going to cut away to Colton. What are you up to? Watching?
I mean, just scanning the tapes, pretty much.
Awesome. So, let's assume that you're a couple hours into it at this point. You're watching and you're watching and you're watching, and you see a ton of interesting shit. Has nothing to do with Bruno Milliner, unfortunately. You see prostitutes, you see Johns, you see drug deals, and you know what? You know what to look for. It's not all that obvious. It's not super ostentatious, but you're like, oh man, I could prosecute that. I could get that guy in jail. They're fucking doing something illegal. Okay, this, that, and the other thing. And you're looking. You know where he is. And the problem with the footage that you're looking through is that you've got a bunch of different tapes, and it's not like you have tapes from particular cameras. So you are watching the same shit over and over and over again. Because if you watch 2 hours, if you watch 20 minutes of footage on one camera, you have to watch the same 20 minutes of footage, like time-wise, on like 3, 4, 5 different cameras. Like, this guy gave you a ton of surveillance information. Because as I remember, Juan used the powers of the blood to just say, hey, give me this information. And he did. He really came through. There's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
So, it's methodical. Honestly, it's a pain in the ass. If you had to spend eternity like this may be hell for you.
Yeah, I'm already tearing my hair out.
Yeah, it's boring. It's really fucking boring. What do you think mechanically would represent that level of boredom? At this point, you are equally trying to. You know what you're looking for. Like, it's not a matter of perception at this point. It's probably a matter of willpower to make yourself sit there for hours on end watching this information, like watching this footage, especially knowing that no one else in your coterie is taking the fucking time to do the homework either. Like, you're sitting there and you're doing everybody else's homework. It's a group project and you're the only guy doing it.
No one asked Nate.
He
He was
didn't
never
ask.
asked.
Your own fault.
You never asked. You should
No
have asked.
one even asked for you to hang out with him.
What do you? I got a
You're
job.
like, oh, I need to do something. You could have been like, you want to help me do something?
You're a stupid Russian.
Wow.
Damn!
He was
Well,
a
that stupid Russian's gonna be a really successful cattle rancher once he gets back to the house.
Oh my god, no, you're not.
Oh yeah, he's gonna bring it back to your house.
Anyway, I guess like stamina. Alright. Bored. I can't think of anything that.
Okay, how about a willpower? I would just.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Let's say, like it's gonna be difficulty 6. Let's say you have to get 3 successes. 3 successes, and it's gonna be like you have watched, and you are positive with 3 successes. You will have been positive. There you go.
Oh
3
shit.
You are positive you did not miss anything that is of importance to you. Like you're sitting there and you're watching and you're watching and you're watching. And so hours go by and you are sitting there, and if your eyes could bleed, they would be. You're watching and you're seeing all of this other thing, like all this other bullshit. And you finally see what you're looking for, and you might have missed it if you weren't putting such a titanic effort into watching, because it really is not of much consequence as compared to all the other cool, interesting shit that you saw, like with the pimps and the Johns and the fucking, and you know, some dude walked outside without his pants on, I'm sure. So you see Bruno Miller, and you see him check in, and you see that he has a piece of luggage, and he's by himself. He has a piece of luggage, and he's very well dressed.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, he looks very out of place in this particular area. You know, people, I think it goes without saying that everybody can tell the difference between a suit from Men's Warehouse and a $3,000 suit. Bruno Milliner is wearing a $3,000 suit amongst a crowd of people that are wearing like WWF shirts, like wife beater WWF shirts. This guy looks definitely out of place. And he knows it too. You can just tell by his body language that he senses that he's out of place. And he looks around, not furtively, but he looks around just kind of knowing what area he's in. And he goes and turns the key to his room, and he goes inside. Sometime later, he comes out as well. That was probably I don't know, that was probably in the evening, probably at 10 o'clock at night maybe. He stays in there very briefly, and he goes, and now that you have a bead on the time frame that you're watching, that you're looking for, now it's really a matter of you can just follow his movement in the casino, because you know which cameras are what at this point, because you've spent so many hours watching the different like footage. So you see that he has a little dossier with him, like a little day planner basically, and he is walking, and he walks toward the corporate offices of the casino itself. You don't have the floor footage just yet, but you remember from the layout of the actual casino itself that the direction that he's walking in, he's not walking towards the casino floor. It looks like he's walking towards where the employees of the casino, like the corporate area, not the people that are the front facing, the back end of the casino.
Okay.
And that's all you get for now.
Okay.
Juan, what are you up to?
So, what time are we supposed to meet Hargrit?
Let's say it was 1 o'clock, just to throw a time down.
I think it actually was 1 o'clock. So, Juan is going to do a couple of different things. The first is Juan is going to go take a look at the meeting spot himself. Not that he doesn't trust Nate, but Juan is a criminal and an assassin, and Juan probably has a little bit of a different spin on things. So the first thing that Juan does is Juan does a drive-by on both streets, on both cross streets, and gets off, circles the block, looks for anything suspicious or unusual, and then he parks his car and he walks the street. And I'm assuming I can roll streetwise or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming Juan probably figures out what Nate was talking about when Nate said it was a good place for an ambush.
Yep, for sure. Absolutely.
So Juan is looking for a place with very occluded sightlines that would be hard to hit from the buildings. And I remember last time you said that there were a lot of like storefronts and stuff that were like for rent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a bladed area essentially.
So Juan is going to look for one of those that has a very quick escape route to it.
Okay.
And I'm assuming he probably finds something like that. He is going to pick the lock on that storefront.
You got it. Honestly, don't bother rolling, because even if you don't, there's nothing really. It's an abandoned building. You're not gonna alert anyone inside ostensibly, so you got it. I mean, you're in.
Okay, perfect.
Love your ride.
So, very nice. So Juan does that, and that probably takes about an hour or so. And the next thing that he does, I think he's gonna go check for, like, I'm not entirely sure how to phrase it. It would be, like a propane tank.
Okay.
He's gonna buy about 2 or 3 of those,
Oh yeah, sure. Okay.
and he's gonna stash them in the storefront.
Okay. Awesome. So of the storefront that you
Pick the lock at.
Okay, gotcha.
And then after that, he's gonna go to Walmart, and he is specifically going to buy a particular kind of round for his 45, and basically he's buying like steel rounds to create sparks with.
Steel core. Okay.
Yeah, like steel core round, and he's just gonna buy a box of ammo and maybe check and see if they have like a shotgun, something like that, like a 12 gauge.
Oh yeah, you're in Texas in the 90s. You can fucking 12-year-old could buy the shotgun for you.
That's probably true. Yeah, I think Juan will buy a hunting shotgun.
Okay.
Just like a pump action 12 gauge, and he will stash that in the little storefront as well. But he'll stash it kind of around where it can't be seen, and we're gonna have a little meeting place.
Alrighty. Yep, you got it. And that takes you about 2 hours or so, maybe like 2.5. But everything seems to be in the way that you want it.
Perfect. He will pay cash for the shotgun, by the way.
Yeah. Absolutely. Awesome. So, if anybody has anything that they want to do before the meeting with Hargrave, feel free. I think we're all relatively on the same time frame. You're about 11 and a half hours out. Yosef,
Yes.
you're on the road. It's definitely... Alright. You are getting... It doesn't take very long before the cow starts freaking out.
Oh my.
The cow is pretty interested and took you at face value, but now you're moving, and the edges around the car are sharp, and it's getting a little odd. It's getting a little freaked out.
I'm gonna try and like hold it down with my one hand as I try to drive with the other.
Okay, that I'll ask you for a strength check for.
Will do.
Boo! You beat me. You keep it down. It's like you're going very slowly. I think you said you were going about 10 miles an hour. So the cow is kind of like, oh shit. Well, I can get it, and it starts to get up, and you go, nope. It's like you're restraining a child in the back seat.
He also didn't even add potence.
No, I added potence in my mind because I know he has potence 3, so he's got 5 successes.
Okay.
So yeah, you were pretty handily keeping this thing down.
Yeah, so I want to try and see if I can stop at a local 7-Eleven first.
Oh no! What the fuck? No! Someone's gonna call the cops on you.
You feel absolutely every bump in the road. There is no suspension to speak of at this point. Your springs are like fucking crying out. You pull down, there's a slight little divot in the road, and you just feel the car bottom out as it goes. This gigantic animal is putting such a strain on your car. And there's a man who's sitting outside, he's pumping gas, and he has a lit cigarette in his mouth. And he goes and he looks at you as though there's like this glassiness to his eyes that you think he might be under the influence of something. And he looks at you, and his head, like he's just scanning and watching you go by as you pull into this parking lot. And it takes a little while for disbelief to cross his face, but he finally gets there, and he's like, what the fuck is written all over his face? He doesn't say anything. He's just looking at you at the moment. He's the only guy that's in the parking lot.
He like works here, or he's like...
No, he's pumping his own gas. Like you're still like pretty far out in the outskirts of El Paso at this point. You're probably like an hour away from civilization, or not civilization, but you're probably an hour away from the city proper. You're on a highway at this point, and you're at like the last stop before you get to like all the amenities of a city. Like, you know how if you've ever driven in the middle of America, especially in that area, you'll probably have one gas station every 60 miles or so. That's that gas station. You're like the last gas station 60 miles out of El Paso.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's looking at you, and he's astonished. And the cigarette is hanging in his mouth by a thread.
Is everything okay?
Yeah?
Okay,
Man, what the
good.
fuck?
You know, stop looking at me then. You're being fucking weird.
Are you trying to be intimidating right now?
No, I'm just kind of telling him to fuck off.
He looks at you, and his eyes kind of look around for a second. You got a cow on your back.
Look around you, man.
And he does. And it's just as the world was before a guy driving down the road with its roof ripped off of his car and a cow in the backseat. He's like, yeah?
No, yeah.
No.
Yeah. Can you watch him for a minute?
Oh my god.
He his hand goes up to his temple and he goes, what? He ashes his cigarette as he's pumping the gas.
Well, you know, I need to go inside, then I don't want him to run off, you know.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay. I've got my eye on you, you know. Yeah.
Okay, man.
I'm gonna start walking in, and I didn't bring any money with me, so I'm just gonna grab an apple and I'll get some sunglasses, right, and put it on my eyes. And
Out of the corner of your eye, you see that the man that was pumping his gas quickly goes and hops into his car and starts driving off. However, there is a gas station attendant inside of like the little Shell station. As you open the door, the guy, hey man,
oh hey, yes, just a second while I pick up some things.
yeah, that's what you do here.
I want to get smart ass. Okay, I see.
Well, hey man, I mean anything by it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna grab like
Look, dude, I don't want any trouble.
a bag of apples. Well, 7-Eleven, they don't got bags.
I was gonna say, I don't know fucking bag of apples, man. You're lucky if they got a fucking banana.
I'll find some kind of food. Yeah,
There's probably like
videos.
peanuts or nuts or something.
Doritos, man. Cows love Doritos, bro.
You got Funyuns, you got Doritos, you got Cheetos, you got any of the O's you want, you got it.
They definitely got like SpaghettiOs.
Really shop after the cow is in the apartment.
You really should.
I'm keeping my eye on the cow. Okay.
This is no
How-
god.
Okay. Are you really keeping an eye on the cow?
I am keeping
Really?
an eye like on the cow as I'm like grabbing the stuff and a gallon of milk.
Okay.
And
the cow is bucking, trying to get out of the back.
oh
How
god.
basically, I'm gonna say if you're actually looking in earnest, looking around for these items, you can't see the cow because the guy doesn't see the cow either. You parked off to the side, like you. From what I understand, the way I saw it is that you didn't park trying to pump your own gas. Like you didn't park at the actual like little dispenser, like the pump itself. Did you park in the? I guess this is the question. Did you park at the pump, or did you park at the?
I
parking
parked in like the parking spots.
lot? Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah, the guy doesn't see the cow, and you don't either. Like,
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, I'm just kind of hurrying up. I'm not really looking in earnest as much as I'm just kind of grabbing food.
he's just watching you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get like a gallon of milk and like I don't know SpaghettiOs and like
Why?
some potato chips and I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm just gonna walk out.
So
And you hear it under your breath, motherfucker. And he goes,
What's
like,
he gonna do?
as you're like 5 steps, 10 steps outside of the door, the guy's like, motherfucker, because you look like you're covered in tattoos, as I remember Nate's drawing. Like,
Yep.
you don't look like a scary motherfucker. You look like the guy that comes in here, and you look like the kind of guy that would rob the place. So he was looking at you intently the entire time. And he goes, motherfucker, and he walks outside, and he throws open the door, and he sees a cow attempting to get up. And honestly, at this point, the cow is pretty bloody because the edges of the metal are not worn down at all. Like, these are ragged edges.
Ooh.
And I don't know if you've ever seen a
Well,
car.
they'll be worn after this.
Like, so if when people go and they hit a deer, one of the most dangerous part about hitting a deer is if you didn't kill it, it's actually in the car with you now. And deer in a confined space like that will kick around and they will try their best to get out. And a lot of times, if the impact of the deer's body hasn't killed you, the deer will actually kick you to death. And especially a moose. A moose is actually the worst one to hit because they're so tall they'll actually fall onto the windshield and they'll kick the shit out of you. It's trying to get out. Like, it's never been in a situation like this. Cows
Yeah.
don't lie down in like a bed like this. They will lie down, but they're not suspended in kind of like a little groove. So it's trying to like kick and buck itself out. It's not too violent at this point. I mean, I don't want you to get the sense that the cow is frenzied or anything like that. But it's like It's trying to get out, and it's got scuffing itself, and it's kind of getting a little agitated. And the guy walks out, and he's like, "What the fuck?" He was looking down. He's like, "What the fuck, man?" And he just stands transfixed. He does not believe his eyes what he is seeing right now.
I don't
I'm
think
gonna go up and I'm gonna try and calm down the cow. I'm gonna like open a can of SpaghettiOs and I'll try and give him the
Oh my God.
SpaghettiOs.
No.
All right, what do you want to roll me?
All right, so this is gonna be. I'm thinking. This could be a charisma. He's already acquainted with my appearance. Is what I'm thinking. It's not really charismatic though. I'm like handing him SpaghettiOs, so
Okay.
I'm not really
Whatever.
sure.
Whatever. Okay, well, it's on you. You come up with something,
Ooh,
and it's gonna be a pretty difficult check, just so you know.
okay. I'm thinking it's gonna be charisma, and I mean I don't have animal ken, so charisma animal ken, but just,
Alright.
just the charisma.
There you go. And feel free to spend a willpower if you want to. Not leading you either which way. I just want you to know it's an option.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So spend the willpower, and that adds.
It adds one automatic success.
Okay. Ooh.
Alright. So you've got two successes. You've got the one success that you rolled, and you've got the willpower success. So it's not as though you're doing a Crocodile Dundee and you're just like whispering this cow. You're not like a cow whisperer. There's a lot of your powerful arm involved, and all of a sudden, where the guy was standing, he's not standing there anymore. The door is closed. You don't see him any longer. He seems to have decided that whatever the hell is going on here is a bit too strange. But you get the cow, and it's still in the back of your seat. And I don't know as to whether you're doing this under the influence of methamphetamine or not, but there is a dawning in the back of your mind, a creeping in the back of your mind that there's no fucking way that you're going to be able to get into El Paso with a cow in the back. You have this kind of sinking feeling of the futility of what it is that you're doing. And as to whether you feel as though that has any bearing on like the overarching motivation of why you're doing this, like maybe you feel like the whole like maybe you feel like you're giving up on a dream because you think it's impossible. I don't know. That you tell me. But you get the feeling just from a practical perspective, like there's no fucking way this cow is going to be able to stay in one piece. Like the cow is going to work itself half to hamburger, trying to get out of the trunk of this car, getting to El Paso.
Ooh. Yeah, that's gonna be. I think I want to deny it though. At first.
Okay.
I think it's gonna take literally this cow dying for Yosef to give up on the dream.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So you essentially will give me two strength checks in succession. Maybe 3. Okay. Alright, you beat me. You beat me. You still beat me. Okay.
These cows are strong.
This cow is strong, but you are much stronger. You're stronger than a cow. However, the cow at this point is incredibly scared, and it is incredibly bloody. It's working itself, and it's getting caught on those sharp edges, and it's not anywhere close to dying, but it's pretty messed up at this point. You're driving into El Paso, and Nate,
No! Please!
you know what I'm about to say. You're driving around in El Paso on the beat. Well, technically David is.
Yep.
And,
No.
yeah,
No.
you see something a bit strange. You see a 1972, whatever the fuck it is that I don't remember what Yosef is driving. It seems as though the roof has been torn off of the vehicle, and it is going at a snail's pace.
Right.
And it is like the dead of it. It's like at this point you're probably close to like 11:45, 12 o'clock at night at this point. Now maybe like 11:30. And you don't believe your eyes. You see a cow in the back of Yosef's car.
Right.
Right, indeed.
Do I see Yosef?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's manhandled. He's. It's like he has the posture like he dropped something in the back seat and he's going and trying to fish it out in the back. Turns out he lost a full-grown ass cow.
Why?
Do I see this like police car in front of me?
No, I'd say you're pretty preoccupied with the bovine.
What is David doing? I see this happening, but what does
You see it. David doesn't see it yet.
David? He doesn't see like Yosef in like.
No, I don't think so. I think he's driving around. I think you're actually like. I don't think you're out and you're stopped. I think that you saw it out of the corner of your eye, and you almost didn't believe what you saw. You were
Right.
turning around a corner, and you know that car. You know that that car is a very rare car. Not because it's any like special thing, but it's just no one drives those pieces of shit anymore.
Right.
You know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you're like, whoa, wait up, what? So you're in the midst of a turn. David's going and like leaning into the turn.
Can he block the sight of Yosef's car, like if they're turning, or is it like they're going
Yeah.
towards it? Like
No,
what's
you're turning away from it.
okay? Is this just the road, or is this like in the city that they're currently in? Like
You're kind of at the outskirts of the city at this point. You're at the outskirts. Like you're at that point in the city where you're moving from a country road to a municipal road, like a county road to a municipal road. Like you're just on the outskirts of El Paso. Like any farther, then you don't have jurisdiction. Like this is at the end of your beat.
right. Is there any like corner stores or like gas stations at
No,
this? No,
no,
there's nothing.
This is like there's probably a little. You're probably doing like a turn. You're probably turning off of one road onto another. There's probably like there's a building, but it's probably like a municipal building. There's probably like a place where they keep let's say a DPW, like a Department of Public Works area. You know, they might keep a tractor here or something like that.
Right.
You know.
What? Well, I don't. Let me think, Smart.
David's turning around, and how are you trying to compose yourself?
I am stoned faced, and he's
Roll
going to
me-
see it. Like,
Roll me a composure check.
okay, what?
I think it's self-control.
Self control. Okay. Alright, just a moment. Oh, there we go. That is 4. What's the difficulty on this?
6.
6, okay. Fuck!
Oh god.
Well, no, he's not. He's losing the shit.
How are
He's
you losing your shit?
not like
Totally up
he's. He would try to school his expression for a sec. But this scene is so fucking stupid that he can't
How
like.
about you're looking over your shoulder, and you never look over your shoulder. Like you look like a little kid at a carnival that hasn't had enough of a ride, and you're like looking over your shoulder and watching as you're like driving past, and that catches David's attention. He's like, "What you got, boss? What you got, boss? Anything going on?" And he goes and he starts glancing over in that direction too. You have a moment in time where if you want to deflect his attention, you can do so.
I thought I saw something. It was just a glance. Keep your eyes on the road.
I don't know if that's gonna be enough.
I'm trying to think. Like,
Ooh.
it's gonna. No, he's not gonna. No, wait. Nate wouldn't let the fucking cow in the city. This has to stop now. This is no. He'll turn on the siren. He'll turn it on.
You go and you lean over into the squad car and you spool up the strobes. Probably not the siren, but you spool up the strobes. And David's like, "What'd you see? What the fuck?"
It's fucking.
Holy shit!
God, we're probably dealing with a fucking druggie. Who the fuck would do this? He's trying very hard.
David has childlike enthusiasm on his face. It's
No,
like,
this is.
you can see like, oh my god, I've been on the force a week and I've already got a kick-ass story. Oh my god! And he starts to turn around.
Right.
Yosef, you see a squad car and you see the strobes light up.
Yosef's a little worried here. I don't know how I'm gonna explain this.
What do?
There is the Soviet way,
What is this so
and
evil?
I'm going to pull out Juan's money from the glove compartment from earlier.
It's your money now, bro. You spend it how you want to.
So bad.
Unfortunately for you, Yosef, I think you met the one not so dirty cop in El Paso. All right, you tell. Scene's on you guys. How do you want this to go down?
Oh god.
Nate's in the driver's seat first, so you're the person rolling up onto the scene. Take narrative control.
Alright. He tell David, who's probably fucking bouncing off his seat, wanting to go out of the car and talk to. First off, Jesus. Is Yosef still. Is the car still rolling? Like at the snail its pace? Or did he stop the car?
It's rolling slower.
Nate would roll down the window and say, "Sir, stop the vehicle."
Do I see that this is Nate?
Yeah.
Nate!
No!
I saw that coming.
That's
I take my sunglasses off. No, you see, it's me. Yosef, your friend. I know you couldn't
Mr.
tell.
Yosef, are you on drugs again? We've done this before, sir. Please stop the car, and
This is
we'll
right
talk
before-
this through.
So in the middle of that, when he go, you hear David going, Unit 30, dispatch, this is Unit 34, this is car 34, we've got a, and as soon as Yosef says, Nate, he just stops. His mouth is agape, and he looks at you, and he's like,
He's a daily visitor at the precinct.
and he looks at you, like, probingly, like, basically his eyes are asking, like, I was just about to hop on the radio, what do I do?
Just hold on a second. Let me see if I can get
I'm
a
gonna stop.
hold of the situation. Yosef, what are you doing?
Oh, the American dream, you know, you start your own business. I'm starting a cattle ranch.
Yosef, how loaded are you right now?
I think, what was it? I borrowed like $50 from Juan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got $50.
No. I mean, like, how are you high?
Oh,
How loaded are you?
Dude, you have like 20 grand too. What are you doing?
I didn't bring it with me.
Seed money for the ranch.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to get out your vehicle with your hands up.
I feel like this is like if Maury Povich was running.
You know, my hands are kind of tied. You come here.
No, sir, please get out of the vehicle. Yosef, let's
Well,
not.
I
Let's
don't know
not
if
a
you
big
see
deal.
the
This
cow
situation.
here.
Yes, please let go of the animal.
If I let go of it, it's gonna run away.
Yes. Is it your cow?
Yes.
Can I tell he's lying to me? Would that be a roll to see if he's fucking bullshitting me right now?
Well, here's the question, Yosef. Are you trying with a
No.
straight face? Okay, yeah, he's bullshitting you, alright.
Can David tell at this point that he's bullshitting as well?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Nate. Roll a leadership, whatever attribute you want plus leadership, because you're the commanding officer at this point.
Right.
This guy is taking your lead, and he's like looking for signals from you.
Right.
I hope you roll a -1 and he opens fire.
Oh, that would so fit the situation. I'm trying to think. Leadership. I have
Motherfucking cow jumped right out at me.
America.
Alright, dude, it's okay. We put some crack on him. It'll be fine.
There's probably meth in that car. Let's face it.
yeah.
Okay, it's 4. I'm trying to think. Would that be charisma? Because he's trying to read his the air, like the.
I can see that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Alright, so that'd be 7. And the dice will fuck me because it hates me so much. What's the difficulty for this?
No, you know what? I'd say it's a 6.
Okay.
Look, everybody has regulars that you've pulled over, like serial offenders. This just happens to be a really fucking weird situation.
This
There's
better
nothing. Okay.
This better not be a serial situation.
Are you gonna be a serial offender? There he is, if you fucking cownapper you.
You can't run a business with only one cow.
Why did you have to get an adult cow? Why could you get a small calf or a baby? Why did it have to be a full-grown cow?
I think you need to cut Nate in on this business. I think he's got some pretty fucking good ideas. Okay, alright. So, you have command of the situation, Nate.
Right.
You tell me, what are you doing to take control of the situation? How are you in command of the situation, and what signals are you sending to David?
Open fire.
Oh, guy, so wants to have to happen.
I'm
but no.
contemplating just driving away.
You're in a slow-ass car. You will not last a police chase with a giant cow in the back of your seat. He's gonna. Well,
I don't
since
think you have the balls, Nate. You know,
he's gonna. I'm trying to think what he'd do in this. This is. Why would this have to happen? Okay.
Go by the book, Nate. Come on.
Yeah, he would go by the book
Section
because
7, our subarticle 58, if apprehending a man with a cow in the trunk.
there is no such law at all.
Obviously, it's on the books.
There might be in Texas. I'm just saying.
It just might be.
Oh, but there probably is, because, yeah, probably. But, he's gonna... Officer Ortiz, stay in the car. I'm gonna handle the situation and try to see if we can. I'll try to cuff him without too much trouble. Just let me handle this first, and then you can come out if it gets too hot.
So David had one foot on the pavement as he was going and about to lift himself out of the car, and he goes, and as you say, stay inside of the car. He goes and he pauses for a moment. And it's another moment, and then finally he goes and he just and lowers himself back into the car and closes the door. And
Radio for dispatch to get animal control out here.
You got it, boss.
Alright. He gets out of the car and starts walking to the fucking car with the cow and the stupid Russian.
Nate, what are you doing?
Get out of the car, Yosef.
Look at the time. We have to be somewhere soon. Let's go.
I believe you've taken enough drugs for tonight. Please step out of the vehicle and we'll
Nate.
drive you back.
Nate, I'm not going anywhere without my dream. I need to follow my dreams, Nate.
Don't worry about your dream,
I start
Yosef.
rolling forward.
He's gonna go.
Come on, Nate.
He's gonna be. I'm sure he's by the car at this point, and he's gonna try to yank the keys out of the ignition. Can
Okay.
you try to do that? Would that be a roll?
You can. Oh, it'll absolutely be a roll. All right. So let's do this as a contested roll.
Oh my god.
Nate, you're going to do dexterity.
Yep. Athletics, or is it something else? Because he's trying to be quick about it and like yank it out.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do opposed. Let's do athletics, dexterity and athletics, as opposed, just opposed rolls. Dexterity and athletics.
I guess difficulty 6. Or
Yeah, yeah. It'll both be difficulty 6, so it'll just be a...
Okay, it's we both got 2s.
Okay.
Roll.
Yeah, reroll.
Reroll.
Oh shit! No, this is gonna be good. No! Fuck!
Hashtag trash.
Ooh.
All right. You try to cantilever yourself over the door because there's still doors on the car. It was just a roof that was pulled off. So you
Right.
try to go and you try to at this point he's just starting to move, and you have this sense of what the fuck, and you throw yourself over and you can't quite get your hand through navigating around the wheel and the steering column to
Right.
get to where the keys are itself. And you're number one, you know that this is not police protocol at
No.
all.
Easy.
You don't know whether David knows this or not, but you're breaking a bazillion policies and procedures.
Honestly, Yosef was supposed to get out of the vehicle, but that's not happening. So he did the next best thing to try to get the ignition to get him out of the car.
No. It's not a criticism whatsoever. No, I mean, all things considered, I think you're batting 1,000 here.
Nate's breaking. Ooh.
Shut the fuck up, you stupid Russian.
So
You asshole.
you're moving, and you're kind of you can actually tell me at this point. So you haven't been able to get the key out of the ignition. The car is still running. How do you want this to be on your end? Do you want to hold on? Do you want to continue trying, or do you want to be pull yourself away and just be fuck, I didn't get it? Because at this point, I don't think that Yosef is driving. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Yosef seems to be driving at a walking pace at this point.
Yeah, so he's just he'll just let that happen and just watch it slowly roll, like,
Okay.
away, and he will call Colton on the phone, put him on speaker, before really quickly saying, like, again, getting his gun out for show, because this is escalated to the point that it's just sheer stupidity.
What are you gonna do? Shoot me?
Can you try to, like, I'm trying to think.
Am I on the phone? Like, did I just hear that?
Yes. Colton,
Yeah.
Yosef stole a cow and is driving
It's
on the
not
highway
stolen.
into the city.
You have no proof.
Stupid son of a bitch.
Where is the probable cause?
Just shoot the cow in the head. I'll just call
I'm
off,
looking at two right now. I don't know which one you want me to shoot.
Oh, Nat, I'm going to beat the shit out of you later.
Yeah, just shoot the cow. And then
He is with partner.
Tell Yosef to stop the car and get out.
I'm gonna throw 50 singles at Nate's face.
What the fuck?
Here. You can go now.
what are you like? Are you
I'm
going
with
to arrest
I
him?
am with someone who doesn't know about our situation, given I was on the job. Tell your friend to get out of the car and to play
be like,
along.
There's more pressing matters to attend to and drive
Joseph,
away.
just get out of the car and he'll let you go eventually. You just gotta play
You
along.
will get your cow at a later date. There's a truck coming to take it.
Oh, they're
It
going
will
to kill it. I
It's
already
not
know. Look
going
at
to
this
kill
thing.
it. You are currently killing the cow. Get out
Do
of
you
the car,
have my
Yosef.
word? You have your word on that?
I will give you my word that the cow will be taken in a truck.
Can you pay me for this?
Get out of the truck. Get out of the car, Yosef. Or I will shoot you.
Oh, really? I heard that stutter. You were not shooting shit.
So, I have
This is just so stupid.
a prisoner I have to go feed, so I'll just let you know.
What?
And I hang up.
Looks at the phone like, what the? No! This is.
You got yourself involved with the wrong people. You should stop hanging out with police.
I really do. But no, he didn't say that out loud, but. Is the.
Unit 34 to dispatch. We're in a slow speed pursuit.
I message Yosef one more time. I'm like, please just follow along.
Oh, Nate. Explain it to your partner. I'm a farmer.
So,
This is
like,
very
walk-
poor car. It's very easy.
No.
walk us through. So, Nick, walk us through what's going through Yosef's mind when he's doing this. Like, I'm just gonna say, there's no like a Malkavian would be really fucking crazy to pull us off. So I'm gonna say that you're under the influence of meth at this point, and a
Yep.
fairly substantial dose in order to make this.
I mean, this is it. This is like, you know, this is what's left of Yosef's.
So
all of
is this
his
like the
original
last
plans.
joyride? Is this like the kind of almost an embrace to nihilism, like a tokenal gesture? Like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna try my dream, and you know what? In the back of your mind, you know it's kind of impossible what the fuck you're doing and how ridiculous this is, and that this is kind of you putting your dream to bed. Like, I'm trying to understand the scene from
I mean,
perspective.
You definitely hit the nail on the head there. I do like that explanation for it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
The last joyride.
I mean,
like, it's
he's
kinda
not-
like
Yosef is not incompetent. He definitely knows this is not going to work. But I think he's stopped giving a shit, for starters.
Okay.
I think he stopped giving a shit before he was embraced.
Gotcha.
And I guess you're right with what you said before with how like this is like his last sort of chance to get the
So this is
sort of joyride.
I'm interpreting this as this is you. The hell am I interpreting? I'm interpreting this as you're falling and rock bottom is approaching, like close. This is like the death of a childhood dream, and all of the other dreams that you've had in your adult life have died, and they've died a slow, agonizing death. And this is letting go and jumping off the building, and this is it. So I just want to understand Eosif's motivation for what he's doing, because like it is hilarious. I'm really like it's a funny scene, but I just want to know from a character perspective. 'Cause, like, as a player, it's fucking hilarious, but it does go contrary to the tone of Vampire. But I'm okay with that as long as there's a reason for it. As long as it's not just like. I'm okay. Like, if this were a just beer and pretzel D&D game, I wouldn't give a shit. This would be funny. But, like, Vampire is a game of personal horror, and you guys are losing your souls, whether you know it or not. Like, you guys are going to become a mockery of what you were in life. And you already are, but you're not done yet. So, with that overarching theme ever in mind... yeah, maybe. But with that in mind, I just want to give you, like, I don't know, I guess I'm playing director at this point and just kind of giving you a bit of a direction moving, like, to how to finish out this scene.
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
And back on you guys.
Alright. Yusuf, get out of the car.
Nate.
I forgot what the rule with vampires on the same generation. Can they use their abilities on each other?
Yes.
Okay. Let me look real quick. Because I will use that to make this stop, just to make this all stop. Just...
I just want to point out, like, as an out-of-character thing, generally speaking, using Dominate on other vampires often works out poorly in the long run. That's just been my experience.
Can he use... Let's see. Nah, that would not help at all. God damn. Well...
you can use the second level power, and you can plant a suggestion in Yosef's mind that he wants to give up the cow, and then you can use your first level power to tell him to get out of the car. If you have 2 dots. Sorry.
I do have 2 dots in that, yes.
Yeah. Just be prepared.
I also have presence as well. Would that help me in this case?
I'm just gonna say, presence, the way that, especially the first dot of presence, presence is a very difficult power in that it is not generally, David is watching you. Bet your ass that the only thing that he is watching is what is happening between you and the man that is holding down single-handedly a cow, which has not quite registered in his mind. Like, he's taking it for what it is. Like, the man is holding down a cow, but what the fuck? That guy's holding down a cow.
It's not...
And when presence is used, you don't necessarily get the ability to decide who is or is not affected by it. You know this. You are familiar with the power. I'm not going to fuck you over as a storyteller.
Right.
Presence is one of those abilities that is meant for a crowd, generally speaking.
Right.
You can use it. I am not stopping you whatsoever, but I will let you know what your character would know, and that presence is area of effect.
Well, he would use Memorize then to make it seem like it's Yosef's idea to get out of the car and play along and not drag this out any longer than to actually have involve a shooting to happen.
Okay.
So,
And let's do this scene, but I just want to say as an aside, using disciplines on other vampires, like Jay said, yeah, you know what, probably not going to end all that well.
Nope.
Simply because, well, just from narratively speaking or within canon speaking, like vampires can hold a grudge for eternity. I mean, truly for an eternity. However, tabling vampire for a moment in the canon, I don't want inter-party conflict
Right.
insofar as you guys are actually, like, I don't want you to actually, I don't want any character to essentially kill another character, and I don't feel like that's what's happening. I don't think that, I want everybody to have fun, essentially. And I don't think that we're quite at that point yet, but just as like a aside, like I can totally understand why Nate would like just, all right, fuck it, I'll just dominate his ass. Let's not make that a habitual thing. Essentially, is all I'm saying at this point.
And then if that's, I honestly won't do it. Then
No.
I do need an out here, because Yosef is not just going to listen to you blindly.
Yeah, that's the thing with
In
Yosef.
fact, he's not going to
so-
evaluate what you're saying and be like, oh, I'm going to listen to Nate of all people.
Which is why he tried to get Colton to help, but that didn't help, and that only raised more questions about a
I'm not
prisoner.
going to listen to Colton either. Maybe if Colton asked politely.
I did. Yeah, so as far as Nate is concerned, like that seems to be honestly the easiest out in this particular situation. I'm just saying, the moment that people stop agreeing with you is not the moment. Like, if we're having a conversation, and this is another situation where you guys are having a conversation saying, I want to do this, no, I want to do that. What I don't want to be in the standard operating procedure is, well, I dominate you and you agree with me. Because that takes any player agency away, and in a situation when that player actually wants to keep that player agency, I get the feeling that Nick kind of wants the out in this situation, like, considering he just said it.
I mean, there is no happy ending, because even if I do manage to bring this cow back home, all it's going to do is ruin the house. And then eventually die, because I don't know how to take care of a cow.
I am gonna say Colton. Why did I say Colton? No, Nate wouldn't use dominate, but he would reluctantly, politely ask Juan to get out of the car and play along, and then he will give him the cow later on. A cow later on.
Juan's not there. I just want to point that out.
Yosef.
Yeah,
That's what I meant to say,
okay.
because I was literally looking at the wrong person. I am sorry.
My name is Yosef.
Yes, Yosef. Yosef, I'll get you another cow later. Just get out of the car. We have a business to take care of.
Oh. How about this? So I get out of car, right? And you
Right.
confiscate my cow,
Right.
my pig, and then I'm going to sucker punch you and run away. He's not going to follow, because he's going to be worried about you, and you're going to just kind of lie on the floor.
No, he would shoot you because you assaulted an officer.
I mean, is there like a corner, like really close?
You'd also lose your car.
Yeah,
Oh, that's also a problem. Do I get to keep the car?
your car will be impounded and you can get it out later.
What's gonna happen right now? It's gonna get impounded anyways.
It's not going to be. It will be in your possession later on. You won't lose it forever.
And where's the cow gonna go?
How loud are you having this conversation?
Not that loud, because he's grunting through his teeth.
Oh, I'm not grunting through my teeth
Ah!
at all.
Jeez.
I'm Yosef.
Yosef, just get out of the car.
Nate.
It's dominating time.
Yeah, it's dominating time, Nate. Yosef isn't gonna kill you for dominating him one time. He will be pissy, but he's already going to be pissy.
Yeah, there's no happy ending in this situation. I'm just fine. Just one time, I'll dominate. I'll dominate Yosef.
Okay. Roll it up.
Okay, dominate is.
Jay, do you know the system off the top? I forgot what the attribute and the skill is.
Is it mesmerize? It's manipulation plus leadership.
Yes.
Difficulty is equal to the current willpower.
What is the willpower of Yosef then? Manipulation.
It is 4.
That sounds about right.
Does my merit for leadership count for this discipline?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I think you should get out the car. We'll deal with the car and things later. Just play around, pretend you're high, and we can get through this.
Okay. Narratively, how does dominate?
You essentially so dominate.
I'm
You
using
take whatever it is
memorize.
said. So mesmerize is like he is implanted in your mind that exact idea, and through rote, you're kind of like an automaton for a while, in that you want to pursue that thought. You're not like autonomous or you're not animated insofar as like presence. It's like, yeah, man, that's a fucking great idea. Let's do that. That's awesome. Dominate is like your will is broken essentially.
Okay, so I release the cow, and I just kind of like, and I get out of the car, and I. What did you ask me to do?
Yeah, he asked to play along, being under arrest, and pretend to be high.
I mean, I don't need to pretend to be high.
Yeah.
All right, so I get out and I get on my knees.
And Nate's gonna put his knee in your back and cuff you while repeating the Miranda rights. You have the right to be silent. Anything you say will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to attorney. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you by the court. With all these rights in mind, are you willing to talk with me about charges against you? And as he's mostly with help of Yosef getting him up and into the Nate's car. And
Oh
shoving
my,
him in
I'm
the
going
back.
in Nate's car.
In the patrol car. In the back.
Okay. At what point does the dominate wear off?
So the way that it was worded is essentially you are playing along, and as long as essentially narratively speaking, you would be required to like you're playing out a charade at this point, and basically you got to bring it home.
Okay,
Or
so it's until I'm no longer under arrest.
basically,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm sitting in the car then. What's the cow doing?
Well, you said you let it go, and I didn't want to stop you, but I mean, the cow's gonna flail like shit trying to get out of that thing. It's probably gonna mess itself up really, really badly in the conditioning of like getting out.
After, can Nate try to calm it down so animal control can get it?
I mean, you can try, but it's gonna be really tough. This cow's had a day.
Should have brought some SpaghettiOs.
Can I use empathy and manipulation as I'm trying to calm it down? Or nah?
No. I mean, give it just a regular. Yeah, I'm not gonna get unless you have animal ken specifically at this point.
No.
There's no way that you have a skill that's gonna be in the same wheelhouse.
Well, then he would back away from the car, and the animal's gonna do what it's gonna do. And
Yeah,
hopefully
basically.
he's gonna just...
I mean, this cow really, you don't know if it's mortal wounds or not, but this cow really eviscerates itself on the naked, jagged steel of an old jalopy car. There's blood everywhere.
Okay.
And at this point, you probably have blood on your uniform just being in relatively close proximity.
And it's just being violent at the moment, correct?
Yeah, it's
He'd shoot it at that point. He'd put a bullet in its head
okay.
to put it out of its misery.
And you do so, and it spasms as you shoot it. You're great with a firearm, so I'm not going to make you roll as to whether you miss or not. No, you hit it,
Right.
and it's a fatal blow, and it's an instantaneously fatal blow, and the body is still twitching. The body is still spasming, and it looks like a pitiful thing, and it looks like it didn't understand the circumstances of its death, and I don't think anyone that witnessed it quite understood it either. And the car is just sitting there silent, and you know that animal control is called, and so we spent a lot of time on the scene, so I'm gonna wrap up the last part of it. The animal control is called. This will be a story they tell for time immemorial in the El Paso animal control scene. Photographs are taken. You're not entirely sure as to whether it's like in the case for the case or just because like holy shit you won't believe this, but it's taken and you give a report and you're done. I know you said you had to be back. You're still here. And for the rest of you,
So what happens to me?
so you're in the back of the car. I'm assuming that Nate at this point is going to go and you've been Mirandized. You're in the back of the squad car. I'm assuming that in pursuance of the charade, Nate's gonna go and drive you to the precinct. I assume. I don't know. So we'll see what Nate has to say.
Okay.
Juan, what are you up to? You were silent pretty much the entire scene, so I want to give you some screen time.
No, I think Juan's just concentrating on the meeting. Like, he's waiting.
Okay.
So, but I'm not, like, in a rush or anything.
Okay. This sounds good. So, when you sent all of the information to Hank, was Hank getting there a little bit ahead of time to be appraised of the situation, or is he getting there pretty much exactly at 1 o'clock?
No, Juan would definitely have wanted to meet him probably about an hour or so early. And, Juan already has basically like a plan, which Hank having a very similar background to Juan does the same drive with Hank that he did. And, he walks the streets and he tells him a little bit about the meeting. And he sweetens the deal a little bit by telling him that this guy was involved in Bruno's vacation. And he thinks that, given this kind of meeting place, there's a really good chance that he's looking to kill everybody involved. And so Juan, takes him back into the storefronts, shows him the propane tanks and the shotgun, stuff like that. And Juan's like, if anything happens, we shoot the tanks and we get out of here as soon as we can. Like, that's the extent of the plan right now.
Okay. So, Hank's when he rolls up on the scene, and it's been I think probably about a week since he broke his arm. Does that sound right? I think it's about.
Yeah, it's about a week.
Okay. It's been about a week since he broke his arm, and you see that he's not wearing a sling. He's not wearing he doesn't have a cast on. There is kind of a slight favoriting to it. From what I remember, I believe he broke his dominant arm, and you can see that there's a marked lack of dexterity because he's trying to do things with his other arm, and he winces in pain every once in a while and catches himself. Like, take for instance, when you're opening up the door to get into the little the storefront area, you can see and it goes like that. But he seems to have healed quite nicely for mortal. And when he sees you, he says, "Tell me why I'm not on that fucking plane to Boston."
Well, the short answer is that pretty sure this guy wants to kill everybody involved, Bruno. And like it or not, you're pretty involved. That's the first reason. Second reason is I heard the cops are looking for you back in Boston, and didn't figure you'd like to spend the rest of your life in jail. So consider it a favor.
I don't think you'll. Well, look, man. Fucking Bruno, when he was around, I don't know. Fucking guy did something to me, and I still really, I don't know. Whatever I felt for Bruno, I don't feel anymore. So you want to kill the guy, somebody wants to kill the guy, somebody wants to kill the guy, they kill the guy. I don't give a fuck. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, you know what? Boston's pretty hot right now. But it's a big old country, hombre. Maybe it ain't Boston. Maybe it's New York. I don't know where I'm going. I could be a Mets fan, I guess. Fuck.
Yeah, that's true. Or there's another option, which is that I got plans in El Paso, Hank, and maybe you and I got a little bit of history, but I think we have an understanding now. I need somebody that knows the other side of the law, kind of like I do. The fucking Russians are moving in, running guns. I don't actually want to stop that. I just want to take over.
Okay. Alright, so when you say we have an understanding, roll me a manipulation and leadership.
Seven.
Oh man. Alright. So Hank's personality, he grew up on the streets, and you did too. Hank's a wolf. Hank's a predator, but he's a pack predator. Hank is he's not a brilliant man by any stretch. He's not dumb either. Hank knows what he knows, but he also knows that He's got big arms and not much else. He looks at you, and he looks you up and down, and shrugs his shoulders. Alright. Fuck. It's cold as shit in Boston anyways.
That's true. Plus, nobody wants to be a fucking Mets fan.
Yeah, fuck the Yankees too.
Yeah,
Lights up
well.
a cigarette.
Juan sits there and smokes with him. And,
And he looks at you, and he looks at you, and it's kind of like it's like the first moment of the lowering of a facade. He says, "You need to do that." He looks at your chest like, "You need."
nah,
Oh shit.
I just like to.
We have to think about it.
Yeah, sometimes. I don't really think about it too much, but, you know. Guy walks in smoking a cigarette. He paints a picture in your mind. Guy in a suit, sunglasses, at night. I don't know. Little bulge beneath his armpit there. Sends a little bit of a message, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm just thinking about the times, tooling around Southie. I don't know. I remember being high as fuck, and I remember talking to my boys and saying, "Man, if I could live forever, if I could live forever." They're all dead now. Not a natural causes, I don't have to tell you. But he looks wistfully off in the distance. I don't know what I'd do if I lived forever.
Well, my plan is to not. So, there you
Alright. We'll see. This chain smoking ain't bad for your health. You have another. And you guys spend the time bullshitting and smoking cigarettes.
So, Juan will also, if he needs it, ask him if he wants a drink.
Considering your leadership, he is at ease with you. Like I said, he's a wolf, and you've established yourself as the alpha at this point. Like, this guy, he doesn't like you, but he respects you. And he's beginning to like you, probably despite himself at this point. He's not thinking about it, but the conversation that you guys just had, you broke through a barrier. And if you have something alcoholic, he'll take it.
I meant blood, actually.
No. You get the feeling that... Okay, so in the interim, between the moment that you killed Bruno and now, you get the feeling that, considering the fact that his arm had healed, you get the feeling that he did not get blood directly from Bruno, considering that he must have had a store of blood from the time that he died. Bruno, met his final death. And now. So, in your mind's eye, Juan's a smart dude. So, you get the feeling that it wasn't a direct, like, he probably had like a little blood bag. It was probably like a drug deal.
That works.
Hank is like a dyed-in-the-wool, old school, from the neighborhood kind of guy. You'd honestly think it's really fucking gay to drink blood from another man.
Probably, yeah. No, so Juan will just, Juan will sit there with him, and then when it gets time, probably like 15 or 30 minutes, he's there with Hank, and he sends everybody a text message, and he's like, "Where the fuck are you guys? Me and Hank are here." And he actually writes Hank's name.
Okay. All right. So, Dark, I don't know if you heard what I said before. You shoot the animal's dead. Animal control is on the scene. They're taking pictures. Not entirely sure as to whether it's for like detailing a crime scene or it's just like, holy shit, I can't believe this happened. I gotta tell the police. You're not entirely sure. Animal control runs fast and loose with just about everything. You haven't really talked to them. This isn't really a department that you have all that many dealings with, but everything in the city is corrupt. So you're not entirely sure what's standard procedure and what's not. They say they'll take care of it. You're the first man, like you're the responding officer, so you have a statement. You give your statement. I'm going to say you know exactly what to say and not say.
Yeah.
You've done this a billion times. This is your bread and butter. I will ask you for a leadership and charisma in order to coach David through the process too.
Okay. And the difficulty 6.
Yeah. Let's do 7.
Okay.
Awesome. So, it's difficulty 7 because David knows what a police report is. Like, he's gone through the academy. He knows what should be said and what shouldn't be said. You guide him in such a way that you essentially feed him information to say to the in the police report, and you make it vague enough that there's nothing super duper, like you basically smoothing over the edges and David's not even aware of it. Like, oh, okay, yeah, so this is how I write it out. Oh yeah, okay, nice, awesome. Now what do you do with Eosif? Eosif's in the back of your car, and the Mesmerize, you said play out this charade, play it out. And he is. He's in the back of he's in handcuffs. He's in the back of your squad car. And, you know that you have to bring him down to booking.
Right.
So, what do you do?
Oh, God, he wanted... someone is gonna have to bail him out, because... unless he punches Nate and makes a go for it, that'd probably be easier.
Well, it's, this is the cool part about RPGs, man. Like, it's totally up to you. There are no, like, pre-programmed, it's not like A or B. You can make up a ton of, world's your oyster. You can do whatever you want to do. You have narrative control right now.
Right, okay. Trying to think. Oh, God, he doesn't want to fucking lock up... Well, no. He probably would want to lock up Yosef. He would. And then have Juan come and bail his ass out after this whole thing's over. He would book him. He books him.
Okay. You bring him down to booking.
Yep.
You're very familiar with the officer on duty in the booking office. His name's Mori. Desk jockey. Been working there since the Jurassic period. He's the guy that's always worked this office for a long time. Ever since you were a rookie.
Right.
And he goes and just exchanging bullshitting pleasantries like cops do. Like, hey Nate, the fuck you got? Look at this big boy. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Prison tats. Yeah, these Russian cats are moving in all over the place. What this motherfucker do?
Tried to drive a cow into a city.
Get the fuck out of here.
Nah, he's high as fuck. I mean, he's real high right now. It's best to put him in a cell so he calms down.
Alright, well, what are we putting him in as? Disturbing the peace? How do you want this written up?
Nate would list multiple, minor violations, but they would add up. Like, the car is like not. That is not a safe vehicle to drive.
Okay. So you're kind of throwing the book at him, or?
He would say disturbing the peace. Let's just say that. He'll say disturbing the peace. He won't overdo it. He's already pushing it with shoving Yosef in the jailhouse for now. And in holding, at least.
Okay. To expedite things, what I'm going to say is essentially he'll spend the night in jail.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, like as soon as Nate tells Juan,
Yeah.
like Nate's not gonna have to tell Juan, you need to go bail Yosef out. Nate's gonna say, oh hey, I arrested Yosef, and Juan's gonna go, oh fuck, and go get in his car and go to jail.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what
And Juan will work that out.
Okay. Let's. How about you two, Nate, Dark, and Jay, just role play out the situation where you actually have the conversation about it, and then we'll just say he gets out of jail.
Okay.
Like, just so that fucking Nick can be a part of the other scene.
Yep.
So, for like narrative sense, and just so that we have enough time, how about we do the meeting with Hargrave like
Yeah.
next time?
Yeah. Sounds good.
And then we just say like, hey, that happens next night or something.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds good.
That work?
Yep.
Cool. So Nate, how do you? In this case, Juan probably like, he probably like shows Hank around, all that kind of stuff, and is like, hey, we're gonna meet here tomorrow night. This is the plan, all this kind of stuff. Does everything that he did before, but now it's about the next night. And so he heads back to probably Colton's place by this point.
Right.
Or do you like call Juan?
He would call Juan.
Nate, what can I do for you?
I've arrested Yosef.
You arrested Yosef.
He tried to drive a cow into the city.
Who fucking cares about cows, Nate?
I was with my partner who doesn't know what's going on.
Aren't you a fucking vampire? Can't you just turn around and dominate him?
Bail his ass out. And he clicks it off.
So Juan looks down at his phone, he's like, fucking Nate. Juan drives to the fucking...
I love that Nate's taking the heat for just stealing a cow.
So Juan drives to the jail, and there's not a... It's the receptionist isn't the right word, but there's always a cop that comes out to the front window, right? And Juan just says, "Hey, I'm here to bail somebody out," and gives him Yosef's.
Yeah, you get a clipboard. That's what I'm looking for. Shoved at you brusquely. You're not even given an explanation because like it's fucking assumed you know what the paperwork is. So just fill it out and give it back to me. That's all.
Cool. So Juan fills it out with all of Nate's information.
What? What do you mean with all of Nate's the information he gave? What do you mean?
No. Like he fills it out as Nate.
No, what the? No?
Okay.
And when he goes back to turn it in, he uses dominate on the guy, and he just says process it.
Okay. Roll for the dominate.
Cool. So I am using
You know-
command.
Okay.
Okay. So what is? Sorry, what were you gonna say, Joe?
Just for the sake of, I'm gonna say you get it. More than likely you are, and they,
Probably, yeah.
no worries, you got it. And he does. He processes it.
Perfect. Nate, you just bailed out. US.
He's not paying you back.
Oh, Juan's not gonna pay any money.
Is Nate gonna get charged for this bullshit?
You know you owe me $50.
It's not $50 to bail someone out. It's like a couple
No.
$100 to
I threw it at your face.
So
You didn't pick it up.
I feel like this entire game at this point is basically, so there's this great fucking play called No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre, and basically it's just saying that other people are hell. Like, this is hell for Nate. Like, this is Nate's undying nightmare. Like,
What has he
what the
done
fuck?
wrong in life to deserve this? What has he done in life? He's trying to support 2 kids. He gets
You're doing a great job at that.
He was, and now he has to pay your fucking bail. How much is bail? I haven't looked that up now.
Oh, Nate's not gonna have to pay a bill either. I'm just saying Juan's gonna work all that out.
Okay.
But Juan didn't want to put his name down on the bail sheet as to the person bailing him out. So the next most logical person would be Nate. Actually, not really, but since Nate got him into this situation, it's kind of like, well, haha.
No.
So, I assume, Juan goes to the cashier because he does actually have to, like, get a receipt and do all that kind of stuff. And, yeah, I'm sure you can guess what Juan does at this point. And, Juan, implants the suggestion in the cashier's mind that he had given her the cash and processed it.
Yeah, and you get your receipt.
Okay.
Here we go.
That's how it went down. Okay.
And so, Juan is sitting there, and I don't know if you guys have ever, like, been in a jail before, but there's, like, a little waiting room, and then the police, like, actually escorts the person out. And so Juan is sitting there reading, like, Vanity Fair or something like that from, like, 6 years ago. And he's got his legs crossed, and he's in a suit, and, he's got his sunglasses on, all that kind of stuff, when the cop brings Yosef out.
Cop just kind of shoves you forward, Yosef. I'm not even saying a word. Like,
Oh, okay. Juan!
Yosef! What the fuck am I doing here, and what's this about a cow?
Oh, Nate, he overreacts, Makes such
Yeah.
a big deal out of what the Hill, yeah. Big deal out of Hill.
Right. Yeah, that's what he told me. He arrested you because you were driving with a cow.
Yeah, I'm trying to start my business. Well,
Oh.
I was, but it's complicated,
We can talk about it on the way. I am also trying to start a business. Funnily enough, it doesn't involve cows, but whatever works.
Yeah, of course. So, we have this, meeting, right?
Tomorrow night, I think.
Oh, okay. I see. Where is Nate now? I want to talk to him.
He's still
I-
working.
I think Nate I think talking to Nate would probably work better somewhere other than here, Yosef.
I mean, you're not wrong. Alright, let's go. Can you take me to Colton's?
Yeah. What happened to your car?
I don't know.
So let me get this straight. I haven't been doing Juan's accent, but he's like, so let me get this straight. So Colton arrested you, and then he took your car.
I mean, I don't know what happened to the car. He just arrested me and took me away.
Ah. So it's impounded.
I guess that's what they do here, yeah. They don't redistribute. So,
Let's go get your car, Yosef.
yes, let's go get the car.
It's covered in blood.
So Yosef and Juan like walk out of the building, and as soon as they're out, Juan kind of turns to Yosef and he's like, you know, Yosef, I remember you had a very nice F-150. Don't you remember that?
Well, of course I remember that.
Yeah,
Like, it
what-
was yesterday.
What color was it?
It was communist red.
Communist red. Ah. We'll see. And so, Yosef and Juan at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever this time is, right? They drive to the impound, to the car impound. And, you know, they obviously don't let civilians in, right? And, Juan parks the car and he gets out, he like buttons his jacket up and he goes to the attendant and, he says, hey, we're here to pick up a car.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an F-150. It's red.
Yeah,
cherry.
Just fill out the form.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you know, I like forms a lot. And Juan looks down at the form. And he doesn't actually put a name down. But instead he puts down Hargrave's name.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
This one
Oh,
got a fire.
yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Guy's looking at you. The attendant's just looking at you with this like, guy's not doing shit, but you can tell he's like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I have time to waste. As he's going and staring at the like late night television that he's watching.
Actually, instead of Hargrave, I'll do Bruno. I'll do Bruno's name. Yeah, that's even
Okay.
better. So, you know, Juan does the exact same thing as before, right? Like, Dominate opens a lot of doors. And he puts down, like, an F-150. And he does leave the color, like, blank. But he does ask if they have, like, a cherry red F-150 in the impound lot.
Yeah, I got this. Yeah, shit. It's a Raptor, I guess. Some asshole was joyriding.
Well, you know, the asshole is a
Well,
6 foot
yeah.
tall Russian guy with tattoos, so you may want to keep that down.
No. Yeah, they tiny dicks that drive this car.
I chortle.
Compensating. All right. Looks like everything's good. Mr. Bruno. Oh Jesus. You're all set to go. Here. And he goes and he looks on the wall. And he's like, here you go. Throws the keys at you. And he goes, yeah, punch that ticket over there. It's gonna get you out. You put it into the little kiosk on your way out that should open the gate. Then you're all set. Hoping that I never see you again. Get the fuck out of here.
Thanks for your help. You've been most accommodating.
Yeah.
So Juan walks Yosef over to the gate, and he's like, Yosef, how high are you right now?
Oh, you know,
You
I
stole a
am-
fucking cow, Yosef. Do you need me to drive the F-150 off the lot?
I mean, I can try.
That's a yes. Okay. So, Juan leaves his car parked there and drives Yosef back in this shiny new F-150. And then he doesn't even go inside. Like, when they get to Colton's house, he just gets out and he calls a cab. And,
Take you one.
no problem, Yosef.
Scream from way over.
It'd probably be better to transport cow.
I just kind of give him a sad look when he says that.
What? We'll get you a trailer next. And then Juan just takes a taxi back to his car and then heads back to Colton's place.
Colton, I'm back.
I'm not there.
Oh, I say it anyway. I look around the apartment like, oh, I guess he's gone.
Nice. That's right, Colton. You're dealing with the prisoner.
Prisoner, yeah.
I hang out with Alan's body then.
He's just still staked on the couch.
I could just see him dancing around with his limp body in the living room.
Alan, stop slapping yourself. Alan. Alright, on that note, that was not how I thought that session was
No.
going to go.
No.
Well, everybody
Hey.
take 3 XP.
You got an F-150 out of it.
No kid.
Now we just have to get the plates done and all that.
I felt like that was like a Hunter S. Thompson Gonzo like piece. Get some out. This is bad country. Awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome. All right, guys. I'm exhausted, but I laughed a lot. Thank you.
I did as well. That was pretty hilarious.
I'm telling you, I
Nate.
feel bad for Nate. This is like
This is
if Nate was hit by a
100%
car.
Nate's fault.
How is this Nate's fault? This is literally hell on earth. This is.
You are in a coterie with 3 criminals and a madman.
Oh, I love it. Pardon me. All right, guys.